The building of Nashipay School was a community-driven project right from the start. A number of people from the Victoria community chose to engage in global outreach, and the Maasai of Makiyuni wanted to build a Maasai school. It was a perfect match. So we partnered with the Maasai Conservation Fund to make their dream and ours come true. First things first, we raised money to buy a brickmaker, and the warriors made bricks for a few months. Then everybody got involved and the school was built. In the process, several of the warriors of the tribe were trained in building and carpentry skills. The school was already engaged in teaching activities before it was barely out of the ground. A group of Victorians visited in May 2013 to lend a hand with the finishing touches and spend 3 nights in the village so we could appreciate and understand the Maasai people better and meet the children who would be getting their start in life through education. And a couple of months later, the first class of children started school on Canada Day, 2013. In May of 2014, another small group went to see how it was all progressing. At our last fundraiser, we raised money to pay the teachers and to buy some much-needed furnishings like chairs and a desk and a cabinet and some bookcases. It was nice to see all of that in place when we arrived. But most importantly, we got to see the children in action in the classroom. What a treat! You'll see that the parents are there too. The school has become a community center as well. It has a solar panel, so it is the only place in the village with electricity so children can do their homework there in the evenings and the adults can gather there too. They had a big celebration for us and honored each of us with gifts. It rained that day, so there was even more reason to celebrate. They sure know how to throw a party. Clamian, our partner on the ground in the village and a Maasai elder, explains more.
And we have over 300 people who would like to bring children to this school. So we try to have some criteria on how we can take children. So we have one of the criteria, we need to take more girls than boys because the Maasai society don't tend to want to send children to school, girls in particular to school, because they tend to arrange marriage early for the girls. So this is the reason why we want to take girls first, to give girls the first priority. But again, we want to take children who are coming from around this area, not very far from the school, so that they don't, otherwise they may not be coming every day because they are tired. So, and maybe the third criteria, we actually want to take children coming from very, very poor families, that they will never send children to school because they can't afford even buying uniforms. So since this will try to support them here that way, so this is another criteria they need. And the Maasai who are living here or in this area, in this village in particular, are the most poor that you can have. Actually, they have their line or their poverty line, which is actually 5 cows for the Maasai and 9 goats. That's a poverty line. So there are really people who don't even know what they eat. They may only eat like once a day, or may not never sure if they're going to get another meal. So it's so this is what is forcing us to say yes, we need to educate the children because it's the only way that we can end that poverty. Really, only by educating people, only by educating these children. Even their parents here feels like they wish they could have gone to school, but because there's no other way they can do that now, then we think of children at least, that their children may also get a chance to go to get an education. So we really think strongly, suggest and pray and ask that we need the help. We need the help. This is expressed by these people. I'm actually the only one in this village so far who have been fortunate to go to school. So that's why I don't want to sleep. I don't want to say, I know I can do on my own. I want to be able to give them some support so I can.
There are numerous instances in other developing countries of schools that have been built by well-meaning folks in the developed world. But unfortunately, they are sitting empty because sustainable operation was not supported after the fact. The Maasai Conservation Fund has midterm goals for sustainable financial support for Nashipay School. However, in the short term, in order to keep Nashipay School up and running, and to do what we can to help these Maasai children from the poorest families, we have come together tonight to enjoy good food and the company of friends, and to do what we can to help fill the gap. Otherwise, only children from families who can afford the funds to pay these teachers will be able to attend school. A new school year began in January, and there are no funds available to pay the teachers. Because of your generosity last year, we were able to pay the teachers' salaries. We are here tonight to raise the funds to ensure that these 3 dedicated Maasai teachers will be able to devote their full-time efforts to educating and empowering these children. It is challenging to find Maasai teachers in Tanzania, and we are very fortunate to have these dedicated teachers. This is Daniel, the head teacher, who joined the teaching team in early 2014. He has 18 years experience and received his teaching diploma in Kenya. He was raised on the Maasai steppe in the Great Rift Valley and was sent to school against his father's wishes because his dad wanted Daniel to be a cattle herder. Daniel's sister married into a Kenyan Maasai family with some resources, and she was able to give financial assistance to help Daniel get his secondary school and college education. Nashipay School is relatively remote, so Daniel leaves his family every week and sleeps on a cot in a small windowless room behind the teacher's office. His goal is to find a decent house in the area where he can live with his wife and children. Outside of the classroom, Daniel is involved in the local male society. He coordinates meetings with elders, organizes the young men, who are called warriors, for cleaning up, road maintenance, and tree planting. He includes the children in the care of the trees by giving each child the responsibility for bringing water for 1 tree. The children have to carry 5 liters of water for several kilometers to water their tree. Nai has a diploma in early childhood development and works for a small honorarium, as there is no budget to give her a regular salary. Her diploma gives her the foundation she needs to work with young children and their families. She is responsible for curriculum development and environmental preservation. Nai rents a house 3 kilometers from the school where she lives with her daughter Winlady. She walks back and forth to Nashipay every day. Nai wants to continue with her education, but her family does not have the financial ability to pay her tuition fees due to a tragic car accident in 1994 that left her father disabled. Now the family, which includes mother, father, and siblings, depend on Nai for financial support. She lives a long distance from her family and sees them only on weekends. Beside her work at the school, Nai teaches the mamas new and modern ways of living. On Saturdays and evenings, the school acts as a community center, where Nai gives classes in business, health, hygiene, and sanitation. She also helps the mamas with their retail business at their shop, bead by bead. Nosotwa is the first teacher at Nashipay School and worked there alone for the first year. She received her teaching certificate at the Teachers College in Arusha and now teaches the kindergarten class. She lives in a very basic lodging with her 4-year-old child and walks several kilometers to teach school every day. Noso spends much of her spare time walking through Maasai communities and talking to the parents about the importance of education and the responsibility of parents to provide their children with the opportunity to receive an education. The Maasai in the area are pastoralists, and many parents believe it is more important for their children to take care of livestock than go to school. The outreach that Noso does to these families is only accepted because she is Maasai.
We are so fortunate to have this group of dedicated Maasai teachers. It is not easy to find Maasai teachers that will move to a relatively remote location and live under difficult conditions. It's necessary to offer a basic salary of around $375 per month and working conditions that will attract and hold teachers with these qualifications. Nashipay Maasai School is the only school in all of Maasai land, an area that encompasses northern Tanzania and southern Kenya, that educates Maasai children in their native language and English. And finally, the children of Nashipay Maasai School sing a heartfelt thank you to all of you for your support. Without all of us, a good education would still be a dream.